Welcome back to Twin Tuesday. I'm Joan Friedman. I want to talk today about how, understandably, twins have very little insight or capacity to think anything's wrong with their twin attachment until somebody from the outside brings things up and calls things to their attention that they haven't really ever thought about before. And unfortunately, it's usually called to their attention when a significant other has a complaint or feels left out or misunderstood by the partner's attachment to the twin. So I've been talking to this young woman, and she's defensive about looking at her twinship, understandably so, because it's her partner who's been having some difficulties with her twin attachment. But we're having a session. She's very open and yet very protective about looking at the twin attachment and how it may or may not be affecting her connection to her partner and to other people. So we were talking about that she knows exactly what her twin is feeling. And I said something about that, and she said, "Well, what's wrong with empathy?" And I said, "Well, sometimes it's empathy, but the way you're discussing how you know she feels without needing to articulate anything is a kind of ongoing enmeshment rather than empathy." And so she was trying very openly to figure out and differentiate what one was and what the other one was. And I tried to explain that empathy happens most successfully between two people who feel separate and who feel individuated from one another. Without that caveat, feeling like you know how your twin feels, feeling like you know what he or she's thinking, feeling like you are afraid to do anything that might cause any kind of conflict or upheaval, those can be signs of enmeshment. So we're continuing to hash that out. In addition to, as I've talked about before, a twin understandably expects immediate attunement. They've grown up with someone who does that for him, verbally or non-verbally. So when their partner doesn't do that and isn't capable of doing it, or even is aware that he or she should be doing it, all that attunement and all that intimacy gets fed into the twin relationship. And it's just sort of automatic. Nobody's ever really thinking about it. Just part of how twins relate to one another, except when it begins to impact the partner's feeling that all the intimacy is going to the twin and not to the other person. So it's all a very interesting subject, and it takes a while to unravel, because as you unravel these very important twinship qualities, you have to be able to eventually get to some sense of what it means or feels to be an individuated person. I want to wish you all a very, very happy Thanksgiving with your loved ones, and I will see you next week.